Hello and welcome to Archvelder's Hacks with Archvelder and his amazing hacks. In this video I'll be showing you how to gain infinite mana and infinite mana shield and make a mage theoretically invincible. So Hardcore Classic is out on the 24th and I've been experimenting with various techniques to make your character exceptionally hard to kill or even make it impossible to die. Now there are various ways to do this. One idea I feel is never really talked about that much and can be exceptionally powerful is to simply focus on one class of mobs and optimize your gear for those mobs. For example, you can focus on gear which will do extra damage to beasts or demons and grind those mobs as fast as you could with the best possible gear. I'll discuss that in future videos. But this video came out of some research I was doing into magic using mobs. Generally speaking, for grinding purposes, magic using NPCs are easier to kill than melee using NPCs, all things being equal. They usually die easier and their attacks can be countered using a variety of player-based spells and abilities. So I tried experimenting with an approach to optimize resistance to spells. I found this video really inspirational. It shows a mage becoming completely immune to damage on an island full of elemental mobs in Stranglethorn Vale. Now, one talent really interested me in the Arcane Mage talent tree. It's called Magic Absorption. It's in the second row of the Arcane tree. If you put 5 points in the talent tree, it increases all resistances by 10 and, crucially, causes all spells you resist to restore 5% of your total mana. Now, this is exactly the type of thing you want to look for when trying to find exploits. It was obvious to me that this could be gamed. You see, if you have mobs that are lower level than your character, you will resist almost all the spells they cast, and they will do very little damage if the spells do actually hit you. But you will be constantly getting your mana restored back to maximum level. And it gets even better. You see, mages have an ability called Mana Shield. When a player with Mana Shield is attacked, then the mage's mana, rather than their health, is depleted, up to the maximum value of the shield. The strange thing about Mana Shield is that it has no cooldown. You can spam it consistently. Now, normally this isn't broken, because the mage who spams Mana Shield will very quickly run out of mana. However, if you have an infinite supply of mana, you can spam the shield and literally never die. As you can see, I'm gaining huge chunks of mana with every failed spell the low-level mobs cast. Now, how might we use this in practice? We need to go somewhere where same level mobs to our mage are, so we can gain experience. So we'll need either a low-level mob to come with us, or more easily, a low-level player to boost us to keep our mage at maximum mana. To use a low-level boost, get a friend to roll a low-level mage or other caster. You can either use a character of the opposite faction or the same faction. Same faction players can attack the mage by starting a duel. As you can see here, most of the low-level mage's attacks miss against the level 20 mage I'm leveling up here. Each resist restores the level 20's mana. To show how this works in practice, the level 20 mage I'm leveling engages same level mobs while the level 1 stays a safe distance away and casts fireballs at the mage, restoring the level 20's mana, thereby enabling the level 20 to cast Mana Shield indefinitely and never run out of mana. If you want to do this solo, you'll need to kite a low level NPC into higher level mobs. Take my level 20 mage here on the south border between Elwyn Forest and Duskwood. Level 20 is the minimum level you can do this because that's when you get Mana Shield. Now, I know there's a caster mob called Serena Calderon here. I first kill the melee mobs around her, then I reset combat and kite Serena. Notice that because she's lower level than the mage, most of her fireballs are resisted. Kiting basically works like this. Wait for the caster to run out of mana, then let them run to you and hit you with a melee attack. Once they hit you, move a small distance in the direction you want to go. Then stop, wait for them to hit you again and move again. The mob should follow you forever across the entire continent if you do this. Having kited Serena into Duskwood, I can engage mobs which gain me experience, while Serena tops up my mana again and again repeatedly. Now, these are just simple illustrations of how this works. In practice, it would work much better with a small team of players boosting the mage. You could potentially break records using this approach for speedrunning purposes, as without any mana breaks, the mage would be able to kill everything extremely fast. It's probably going to be easier to use a mob grinding rather than questing based approach with this technique, due to the limitations on mobility. There's a comprehensive list of hyperspawn locations on my Patreon for the curious.